Hope everyone is doing good. Yeah, let's talk about politics. So if it's your first time to the channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And when I see Trump and Obama together, it's kind of like, dude, these guys look like friends, right? What do you think they're discussing about? They look like friends who are on opposite team, and after the competition is over, they're back to being friends, right? So, yeah, that's what I think about that. And yeah, the wildfires in California. Like this.
Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump has slammed California's response to the fires.
City look like it's ablaze. The entire city of California look like it's ablaze from what I'm seeing.
Crews struggle to contain the fire in California. The governor coming under fire from the incoming president. In a Truth Social post, Trump said the governor, quote, refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before.
No, it's not the entire California, but dude, these wildfires are out of control. And you know the weird part is?
Allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snowmelt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way.
I don't think something like this could actually happen in America. I can understand if we're living in a third world country, like, you know, I'm from Nigeria, so something like this in Nigeria, that's the norm, okay? Different. So Governor Gavin Newsom, let's call him Gavin Newsom. Let's call him by his real name.
Well, I'm Gavin Newsom, and I'm a proud Democrat from the great state of California.
In Nigeria, that's the norm, okay? It's regular, but not in the United States. In the United States, we expect better.
Governor Newsom refused to sign a specific water restoration declaration, and does such a policy or document even exist?
There's nothing like that. There's nothing that exists. It's true that Governor Newsom has resisted the last Trump administration's efforts to change how water is managed in the Delta.
He's a Democrat. The back and forth between him and Trump, I'm not sure if it stems from the fact that they're on opposite teams.
Right. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump accused Governor Gavin Newsom of blocking water from flowing to parts of California affected by the wildfires and prioritizing fish over people. ABC 10's Luke Clary has the details.
They seem to be giving each other little jabs, you know, with words, like Trump asking him and saying, is the previous administration.
It's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called the smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They have no water in the fire hydrants.
This fish that is apparently supposed to be going extinct, the population of the fish has been reduced.
Tiny, translucent fish are called Delta smelt, and they only live one place in the world, the San Francisco estuary, mostly in the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta. But in a few years, you might only see them in a place like this.
The Delta smelt has gone from being one of...
So instead of people having water, just in case of events where they have fire outbreaks, they decide to redirect the water towards saving the life of those livestock. I'm talking about the fish.
abundant fish in the Delta to being just on the verge of extinction. The Delta has gone from being one of the more abundant fish in the Delta to being just on the verge of extinction.
I'm proud because today's California is strong and getting stronger. It's a jet-propelled
in a while. So you tell me, which is more important? Having water on standby in case there is a fire.
Engine of job creation, a home court for creativity around the world. And we've done it not just through innovation, but we've done it by inclusion. We're pro-immigrant, pro-environment, pro-women, pro-workers, and proudly pro-gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender. We aren't the Golden State.
Hey, what is the color of the rainbow? I mean, what is the rainbow state?
Oh, California.
Golden State despite our values. We're the Golden State because of them.
Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So,
having water on standby in case there is a fire. It's not fire every day, so just having that water there, definitely, it's not every day you're going to need the water to rescue people. Or should you redirect the water towards the fish that is about to go extinct? Where do you stand on when it comes to this?
Happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought, I mean, virtually.
Like, the people who their house went ablaze, if you tell them the reason why we didn't have water to put out the fire in your house was because we had to redirect the water towards the fish, and their population is about to go extinct. That's the reason why, we want to make sure we preserve that population, or that species, or that animal, We want to make sure they don't go extinct. That's the reason we don't have enough water to save your house.
Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated.
Peter Moyle is a retired professor of fish biology at UC Davis, and he's been studying delta smelt for over 40 years. In the 1980s, he began to see a startling drop in the number of delta smelt in population samples, and it's only gotten worse.
By every measurement you can make, it's an endangered species.
The California Department of Fish...
I'm not sure about how many people who died yet. I'm sure the news is going to cover that eventually. Looking at how this fire was blazing, I'm sure there has to be at least... I hope they didn't lose any life, but...
The California Department of Fish and Wildlife's Fall Midwater Trawl Survey keeps tabs on fish populations in the San Francisco estuary. Last year, the survey turned up 0 delta smelt in the wild.
Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure the truth will come out eventually. So, what do you think?
Here at the UC Davis Fish Culture and Conservation Lab near Tracy, researchers are keeping the delta smelt alive in what might one day be the only way possible, in captivity. There are a number of factors pushing the delta smelt toward extinction. Predators.
Do you think this is just politics between Trump and Gavin Newsom? Or is Gavin Newsom responsible for not doing what needed to be done?
Predators feeding on them, loss of habitat, contaminants coming in. Delta smelt to some degree are getting it from all directions.
While it's impossible to point to one thing as the cause of the delta smelt's decline, one notable problem is that its home is an important source of water for the state.
There's over 2,000 water diversions in the Delta. It's the hub for about 25 million people's water supply.
To be able to protect the citizens of California, where do you stand? To me,
pumps move fresh water from the Delta to cities and farms across California. They also sometimes move delta smelt out of their homes and into the aqueducts where they can't survive. Pumping restrictions go into effect during certain times of the year to prevent these losses and to protect the environmental health of the Delta.
I just think this is ridiculous, number one. That's what I think, because what's the point of having fire hydrants on every corner if by the time you need them, they're going to be empty. They're not going to have water.
Move fresh water from the Delta to cities and farms across California. They also sometimes move delta smelt out of their homes and into the aqueducts where they can't survive. Pumping restrictions go into effect during certain times of the year to prevent these losses and to protect the environmental health of the Delta.
The smelt populations are in bad shape. It makes it harder to distribute water to the people of California.
Delta smelt
on every corner, if by the time you need them, they're going to be empty. They're not going to have water. What's the point? Do the citizens who are paying taxes in the state of California, I'm sure they're paying to have water in their water hydrant as well. So all that tax money, are they going to get refunded?
Been used as what's called an indicator species, meaning scientists could gauge the overall health of the estuary based on how well the delta smelt were doing.
And by a time it seems like the delta smelt is endangered, it's probably not a good indicator of your system anymore.
Well,
because you're not able to protect them for something that they paid for.
State is working to preserve the Delta as a viable source of fresh water and restore natural habitats. It may be too little too late for delta smelt and other native species.
Is somebody going to lose their job over this situation? I want to know. Because it seems like when you are one of the higher ups, it does not apply to you. But when you're somebody at the bottom of the food chain, yeah, let's fire him real quick, right? Anyhow, I'm not sure, but Trump seems like he's really trying to do something about this situation.
The longfin smelt, the Sacramento splittail, the salmon, all these species are also in trouble out there.
The delta smelt's disappearance doesn't mean that the delta will collapse, but it is a sign that the delta that people enjoy for boating, birdwatching, and fishing is an ecosystem in danger, but parts of it can still be salvaged.
He just became the president, of course. So I'm sure now he has the power to definitely do something about the situation. But the back and forth and the rhetoric between Trump and Gavin Newsom, it is interesting to watch.
Today in Los Angeles was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side. And he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. there's no reason.
It is kind of interesting to watch. To me, I just call it politics. I mean, Gavin Newsom in the state of California, Democrat. You have Trump, who's a Republican. It's just politics.
Biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration.
Politics as usual. Let me know what you think about this video. Like and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If there's anything I'm not talking about that you may know about this situation, feel free to share.
They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels. And
I'm finding out about this situation as just like you. I don't know the details yet, but I just think it's interesting to watch the response.
Gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing.
I'm proud.
At our best, we don't tolerate our diversity. At our best, we celebrate it. Those values of liberty, diversity, and
What's the point of the fire truck pulling up? And what the fire truck did not know there was not going to be water there. I would think the fire company should have some kind of knowledge of what is going on and where there should be water in the city whenever an emergency situation like this occurs.
To the director of the UC Davis Center for Watershed Sciences and law professor Kerrigan Burke.
But there's no document like what the past president's referring to.
Newsom also responding, saying, quote, "There is no such document as the Water Restoration Declaration. That is pure fiction. The governor is focused on protecting people, not playing politics, and making sure firefighters have all the resources they need."
But apparently, they were ready to go. They pulled up, but there was no water there for them to do the job that they came out there to do. So, of course, a lot of people lost their homes. A lot of expensive properties burns down to the ground,
resulting in water shortages for firefighting and other uses. The fish Trump is referring to, the Delta smelt, is a small fish about 4 inches long, and the
schools, hospitals, banks. This is crazy. Not in America. Not in America. This should not be happening in the United States.
Inches long, and the Sacramento River was once teeming with them. But in recent years, wildlife officials haven't been able to catch any.
America's too well developed. We have too much money for a situation like this to even occur.
Should bail out blue states that you believe are being mismanaged. Given your criticism of Governor Gavin Newsom, are you willing to work with him, and do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas.
Let me know what you think about the video. Like and share. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so.